Hey, what's up guys, it's Tyler Niceblade Gaming with a long overdue return to Rogue Legacy. I'm going ahead and returning to this because there is a feasible end to this, in that I complete the game at some point, and also I'm really kind of burnt out on Stardew Valley. I've been playing it a lot in my free time. So, hopefully we'll get to the end. Let's see here. What am I doing here? That's my spell. And everything is slow as hell today. Everything is slow as hell today. I can't get anything to play right. This bothers me. Either way. So, a couple weeks ago I said I was going to go see Ghostbusters, and I did. And I said I'd do a review of it the night after, which I did not do. So, I'm going to go ahead and start up a small review on Ghostbusters. It's not going to be in-depth or anything because I don't want to go into spoilers, but the movie itself was really fun to watch. I mean, if you're looking for Ghostbusters, you're not going to get really the same thing, but it's really, like I said, it was fun to watch. The jokes were usually funny. There were some bad ones. But, I don't know. It's all up to you on what you want to watch. Now, the problems I had with the movie were Chris Hemsworth's character being really, really bad stupid. Not like entertaining stupid, just bad. And, I mean, like, best way to describe it was there were moments when he was really funny and you could really enjoy what he was, you know, his stupid jokes. But for the most part, no, there was nothing to really write home about with his jokes. Like, let's start with one of the things everybody complains about. The dog. So, when he's first being interviewed, he asks, can my cat stay there? And Melissa McCarthy says, no, I'm allergic to cats. And he then specifies that, no, my dog's name is my cat. And that, I mean, really, that joke's never worked for me. It could have been funnier if maybe they'd pretended like he actually honestly had no clue what he was talking about. Or if they pretended that that he actually meant it as a joke, but no, they pretended that there was no way he had any clue what he was talking about, and so that kind of bugged me. But really, it wasn't just that. Like, every other joke from him was something stupid, just not even entertaining. Which is reasonable, I guess. You're looking for a stupid character, and I feel like maybe they needed more character development with him, because he was literally just there to be an idiot, as far as I can tell. That being said, he had some more entertaining jokes, like some closer toward the end, which I'm not going to go into detail about, but they were entertaining. So, honestly, it's all a matter of what you find funny, but as a general consensus, people didn't seem to much care for Chris Hemsworth. Now, other problems I had were the "hey, we're women" jokes not super prevalent, which is not part of the problem I had. It was more like it was, despite not being super prevalent, the ones that were there just weren't all that funny. The one that I remember most well is one from the trailers where Patty, the I guess you could say Winston replacement, is about to go on a stage dive and they just drop her, or they just let her drop, and she says, well, I don't know if it's a race thing or a lady thing, but I'm mad as hell, and that just wasn't very funny, and I already found the boss, so I'm not going to fight the boss yet, because I don't have enough confidence in my ability, but in my, hell, I can have confidence in the boss, nobody said it. But anyway, it just didn't ring funny for me. Some of the things I really liked about it, obviously, were some of the jokes. I said only some of the jokes were annoying. And one of them that I really liked was when they were, actually almost immediately after the joke that I just said I didn't like, Patty gets up and has the dragon ghost on her. Oh, that's right, this is the first boss. Anyway, and the joke is just that she's gonna not piss it off. And that just kind of made me laugh. Oh, there were spikes there. It's really hard to say jokes were funny because I don't want to talk about the jokes too much. The gadgets were really cool. I liked the sidearms that they did. I loved that they kept the proton wand too, but the sidearms were amazing. And I mean, like, I just loved watching the sidearms. They were, Melissa McCarthy had a ghost shredder thing, and it was just a paper shredder, but it was for ghosts. Let's see here. Patty had... What did Patty have? No, Patty had the ghost shredder. Melissa McCarthy had these gauntlet things that when she punched, the ghosts would explode, and it was really cool. Everybody had these grenades. The scary Lily, like, the scary one, I think her name might have been Lily. The one who looked like she could snap and kill you at any moment. She had given herself these these dual pistols. I mean, like, everybody saw those in the trailer. They were everywhere. And she did the licking thing. That was stupid. It just seemed like it's probably just as radioactive as the ghost that you put in a box. That's another one of the jokes that I really love, was when she said that. But, and Kristen Wiig's character, Emily, I think, she got to be the one with the shotgun. And I loved the shotgun. It was really cool. Kind of a mixed bag was the cameos. Like, there were some okay ones. There were some good ones. And then there was Bill Murray. I hate saying that about Bill Murray, because Bill Murray's one of those people who I really love seeing in things. But he didn't care. He just phoned in his performance. And you could tell, which is unfortunate, because like I said, I really like Bill Murray. He's one of my favorite comic actors, but he didn't want to be in this. Ernie Hudson kind of showed up at the end, but it was just a barely there show up at the end kind of situation. So I feel like he needed some better representation, because I feel like they just didn't really want him back, what with him being the one nobody really remembered, except for like the super fans. So I don't know. I feel like the cameos were a little wasted. But then there's like Janine from the movie. She shows up as from the original movie. She shows up as a concierge, as a hotel clerk. It's funny because it's pretty much exactly what she was doing in the movie. Dan Aykroyd's cameo's a little iffy. I mean, it was kind of funny, but at the same time, it was just, hey, I'm here, I was in the movie kind of thing. Which, it's fine, I guess. Problem I have with it is it was just the I'm in this movie, I was in the old ones, and he does this joke where he knows what he's talking about because, I mean, obviously, oh god, no. I mean, obviously he was the third Ghostbuster. And I like that, but at the same time, it just kind of, there should have been a little bit more to it. The whole performance felt a little lacking. That's actually what you can say about most of the cameos, except Janine did exactly what she was supposed to do. I want to talk about the villain too, but at the same time, that seems like it's a little spoiler heavy. Because the villain's major problem was motivation. And by motivation, I mean there was none. I don't want to say what the motivation was, but I mean, if that were a legitimate motivation, I'd be fine. If you haven't seen the movie yet, I do still recommend you go see it, but just watch it for what it is, not for Ghostbusters. There are ghosts that get busted, and the graphics are kind of fantastic. Like, not a whole lot of people want to give it credit for its graphics being as good as they are. Visuals. Graphics of video games. But yeah, nobody wants to really give it credit for being as good looking as it is. So, really, Ghostbusters, I'd say, for the most part, yeah, go see it. I can easily say that for the most part, I definitely liked it. It just kind of needed a bit of work. Hey, dwarfism is coming in handy. So, well, yeah, it needed some work. I do still recommend definitely go see it. It's one of those that once it gets the work it needed, or once it gets the recognition it deserved, I think people are gonna like really fucking see it. And yes, there will be a sequel to Ghostbusters reboot. Enough people went on the first day that there will be a sequel. And that is taking into account the Ghostbusters 8. I found the exit to the next level, not going. Fuck that. Ah, that's how you do that. Nope. Nope. That whole area is a nope. So, Ghostbusters overall, it's alright. The ghosts are generally cool looking, like I said. The villain needed some work. As a character, he was lacking. I should say that as a ghost at the end, because he does die, kind of. You could really see where they put most of his development. And that's fine as far as I'm concerned, as long as you develop something into the character. This. Please give me something better than Hedgehog's Curse. Yes, no more Hedgehog's Curse. So, overall, yes, go see it. But be prepared to be not quite disappointed, but not entirely content. There are some very clear issues that need to be resolved and things like that, but overall, I absolutely can say without a doubt that I loved the film. There are other cameos besides the original cast. They pretty much are useless. What I thought was really touching is there was a bust of Harold Ramis in tribute, obviously, to the late Harold Ramis, who was one of the primary creators of Ghostbusters, so good on him for that. Nope. Let me guess, this goes up through, yep. So yeah, good on him for giving such a loving tribute to Harold Ramis. The story is basically the same as the last both Ghostbusters movies. So really, you're not missing much when it comes to story. There's something but it's not about the story, it's about the jokes. This one, they definitely focus more on the humor. And the humor they focused on was primarily slapstick, so, I mean, if you're into slapstick, that's great. Turns out I could have just skipped all of it. Fuck you. Well, that's pretty much all I have to say about Ghostbusters. It's all I want to say about it right now. Like I said, until it, gets full release, it's really hard to find something that I want to say about it. Due to it being just still in theater at this point. I'm surprised to stay alive this long, what with all this talking to you guys and such. I'm not very good at staying alive in this game, as you can probably tell by my health. Yep, that was it. That's alright, I got a lot of money. On a secondary note, I have seen, The Killing Joke just recently. And while that doesn't seem like such an important note, it is the latest Batman movie to come out that's actually worth watching. Because Suicide Squad's not a Batman movie. I have not seen that yet, however. But anyway. About Batman: The Killing Joke. It's fantastic. The comic book is obviously one of the best ever written. However, there's 40 minutes at the beginning of the movie that is useless. And there's a reason for that. The reasoning for that is they decided they wanted to introduce Batgirl instead of, well, introduce introducing instead of introducing the Joker more efficiently. That's what I was trying to say. But yeah, as far as I can tell, the first 40 minutes are completely original, which, while it sounds like it's probably a good thing, it really isn't. Because there's the stuff where where Batgirl is obsessed with this one criminal who's supposedly like the nephew of what I assume was Falcone is interesting. It is. But then there's, and I'm going to use something Angry Joe used for those of you who watch Angry Joe show. There's bat sex. And bat sex was just so out of nowhere and stupid and bad. And I'm going to do horribly this girl, because what I unlocked was not a useful upgrade. But anyway, bat sex was just so bad. And really, I think one of the worst things that you can do is introduce false romance into a character. And that's what they did. They took Barbara's father-son relationship, or father-daughter relationship with Batman to an extreme. Yeah, I'm not going to do this one. Yeah, my first room was super deadly. But, yeah, then after that, it's literally just the comic book. Oh, and a small introduction to the Joker in the form of, yes, a bit of story that wasn't there, but a bit of cool story that wasn't there. In that there's this dentist convention where 12, 13 people went missing, and that was 3 years prior to the events of the movie, and it's brought to Batman's attention. I mention this because I won't say it's really relevant to the plot so much, but it's a neat way to introduce the Joker. I guess that's the best way I can look at it. I really like the way they did it. I'm a huge fan of the Joker. He's probably one of the best villains in Batman, or even superhero history. Comic book history, rather. So then we get into the actual comic, and it starts off with Batman going to visit the Joker in Arkham. They have the conversation where Batman says that he's been thinking about them and who's gonna kill who. Which, by the way, for those of you who don't know, is probably one of the biggest questions of the Batman universe. Who's gonna break first? Obviously, it'd be the Joker if one of them was going to just willingly kill the other, but even then, that's not necessarily true. Because it's a mutual relationship of, it's codependence. They have a codependence. They both have codependence issues upon each other. But that's not where I want to go with this. I want to go to the simple fact that Batman's trying to have a serious conversation with the Joker about where all their hatred is leading them towards, and as it turns out, the Joker got out by hiring some guy to wear his makeup, to look like him, rather, and just kind of sit around and talk to Batman. And this is cool. Because it's like something, yeah, you'd expect it from the Joker, but Batman didn't see it coming at all. He was trying to talk to him, and was trying to actually say that he tried to get through to the Joker that this was going to end in death. Because Batman genuinely cares about saving the Joker. Something that so few can say. And, I mean, this guy is like impersonating the Joker for him. And it then goes on to Batman trying. It then goes into Batman. I won't say trying to interrupt Gordon or Commissioner Gordon's family night. It's more like Batman trying to get a hold of Gordon because it's. And then it switches over to the Joker starting his origin story, which I'm not going to talk about just yet because while it is relevant to the plot, it is something that I'm going to talk about all at once. So Joker's origin is, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and wait on that. But we then cut over to the Joker going, or to Barbara trying to do family night. And Gordon obviously got busy with Batman. So, I mean, family night's kind of put on hold a little. But, then there's a knock at the door. Barbara goes to answer it. And, I mean, we see some scrapbooking stuff that Jim's been doing. It was all about the villains and Batman and stuff. It's really obsessive. But Barbara sees the Joker and, before she can react, is shot through the abdomen. This is one of the most controversial comics in Batman history because it's the most serious Batman comic at all. But we're then given the intro as intro to the carnival, which Joker was buying for Gordon. And actually that comes before Joker shoots Barbara, and Joker buys it by having his minions kill the owner and then him killing the guy who's trying to sell it to him. But then he kidnaps Gordon, takes pictures of Barbara after stripping her down, and decides that he's going to torment Gordon. And before we can see anything related to Batman stopping the Joker, we are given the Joker sending Gordon into madness. And when I say sending Gordon into madness, I mean he starts off by beating Gordon senseless and putting him and stripping him naked. He then puts him into a mock trial where he goes over a laundry list of crimes that all sound exactly like the Joker. And as Gordon goes to throw the book at him, literally in this case, it turns out that it's actually Batman that he'd been putting on trial. So, I mean, it's kind of one of those, your best friend is the person that you're talking about being the bad guy. He's trying to make Gordon go mad on purpose because honestly, is there a because it's just what he feels is necessary. He wants to prove to Batman that everybody's gonna go mad eventually. Which of course is kind of a... He wants to prove to Batman that his way is the only actual way. Which, I mean, obviously winds up being true, but it almost makes it convincing. He then puts Gordon through a roller coaster ride that I can only describe as the worst possible torment you could put on a father, where all the way through the tunnel is pictures of Barbara after she'd been shot. And almost immediately after that, which this is not in the comics, they go into a musical number and they break Gordon as far as he's concerned, which is really just, it's amazing to think about it. But all this time, Batman's been trying to find Joker and has been trying to figure out who Joker is because he doesn't understand why they hate each other so much. Batman finally makes it to the carnival, and the guy who was dead on the elephant thing when Joker bought the carnival has been moved for display purposes. The Joker chimes in with a joke about how Batman found the tickets. And I mean, there's not really a whole lot to say about the scene, about that particular scene. Batman beats up a few goons. Joker runs into the playhouse, into the funhouse. That's the scene. But then he goes to free Gordon and tells him that he's alright. Gordon says that he has to bring Joker in by the book, or he wants Joker brought in by the book. Well, this is important to keep that in mind. As Batman's going to the funhouse, he's fighting distorted versions of himself instead of the normal. Joker being fair, because the Joker wants to drive Batman just as insane as he's assumed he drove Gordon. But Batman eventually makes it to the Joker, and Joker just starts, out of pure rage, bombarding Batman with different appliances in this mock kitchen. But before that, he talks about how he remembers it different every time, because if he's going down the past, he'd rather it be multiple choice. This is a great line as far as I'm concerned, but what really touches here is that he does remember his past, at least a distorted version of his past. And I don't know how much of it he remembers, what he chooses to remember, but what he does with what he remembers is certainly memorable. That sounded really corny, but so he then, after, as I said, goes on to help Batman with various kitchen items, just out of pure rage because Batman's not breaking, and he tells Batman that the only real option is to go mad. So Batman in response says that Batman told him to bring Joker in by the book, which means that he'd never broke Gordon. And this is a huge moment in Joker's entire character. Joker breaks Batman through the wall, or Batman breaks Joker through the window, in what seems like a moment where he's ready to kill. And instead of killing him, he of course leaves him alive, because Batman doesn't kill. That's Batman's rule number one. And Joker pulls a pistol on him, and this is a mini-boss, Joker pulls a pistol on him, and that's it. That's all he can really do is try and kill Batman at this point. Can't do anything with that. So then Joker shoots the pistol. It turns out it's a gag pistol. He falls to the ground. And he's crying at this point. He's not even hiding. He feels no need to hide his feelings. He realizes that he's lost. He understands defeat. He's been defeated, lost. Batman says that he wants to help the Joker. See what's coming. And the Joker says, no, it's too late for me. And we have this genuinely serious scene. It kind of drags for a few seconds of just silence. And then suddenly, Joker starts laughing. Out of nowhere. He says, I just remembered a funny joke. The joke is that two men are interned in an insane asylum. Well, they decide they get tired of being there, so they choose to escape. So one night, they get out, and they see the buildings sprawling all across. The first man jumps the first building perfectly fine. The second man seems to be having trouble. First man says, I've got an idea. I'll shine this flashlight across so you can get over. The second man says, are you crazy? You'll just turn your light off when I get halfway across. Joker begins to laugh again. Joker laughs for a few seconds alone. Suddenly Batman starts to laugh. The end. Now, what I left out the entire time was Joker's origin story. I left this out because I wanted to talk about it all at once. Joker's origin story is quite possibly one of my favorite origin stories in all of comic book history, because it tells you everything, but it doesn't tell you anything about the character as far as name or other such details. It starts off with the Joker having been a lab assistant that quit his job to become a stand-up comedian, because that's where his heart was. He loved comedy. He can't get a gig because he isn't funny. Well, he is about to be a father. So he really wants to get a gig. Unfortunately, like I said, he's not funny, so he can't find a job. Well, that doesn't stop him from trying, obviously. It shouldn't either. You try no matter what. Desperate for money, he goes to the mob. And what he winds up agreeing to is to wear the Red Hood. Now, many of you probably know the Red Hood as an old Robin, which is accurate, because Robin donned the Red Hood. But before Robin, the Red Hood was more of a symbol. The Red Hood was something to be feared. He was a mob boss, essentially. And that was what the mob needed. They needed a boss. Someone to at least pretend to be their boss. So they would hire schmoes, like the Joker. Well, the Joker's going to take this job because he doesn't have much choice. And he goes to another meeting. They're talking about getting ready. He says that he told his wife that he's going to a club meeting. She'd expect him to wear a simple bow tie, which is what the Red Hood wears, as well as the hood and the cape. Well, the cops show up halfway through. They ask for the Joker. He goes and starts talking to them. It looks like he's saying things about the mob. So they're prepared to kill him. He comes back and says that he just found out his wife died. And the cop said that he's probably having a trade before he goes to the hospital. The mobsters say, yeah, you should do that. Meet us back here. Meet us back here at 8. The Joker says, I have no reason to do this anymore. He's threatened, saying, they say that nobody gets out of things, gets out of an obligation with the Red Hood thing. Well, obviously he's obligated to do this now. So he beats them up. So he meets up with them. Alright, IFTAs. And on the night of the crime, he leads them in. That's all his job was, to lead them through. They want to go rob the bank and exactly catch those chemicals. Well, turns out they've added security since he quit. The security kills one of the men quickly. And then the other man starts to turn Joker over as the Red Hood. And this guy gets killed pretty quick too, and Batman says to stop shooting. So, as it turns out, Batman is going to stop the Red Hood himself. Seems reasonable. Turns out that he'd seen the Red Hood before, couldn't stop him somehow, since the Red Hood is usually just some schmuck. But in the fight, Joker gets tossed into a vat of chemicals at Ace Chemical Plant, which is apparently the most common way to become a villain in comic book history. But, putting that aside, he falls into the vat and comes out the drain pipe. As he tries to take the helmet off, he eventually gets it off and sees that his hair has become green, looks into a reflection and sees that his skin is now white. He's been driven mad. Well, this is fine by him because he's mad now. That's the origin of the Joker. We don't know anything else. All we know is that Batman made him. Now, why this is my favorite origin in history is because it tells us exactly how it happened. But it doesn't tell us anything else. It tells you exactly what you need. This character's gonna die quickly. So, I love that. I just love that particular origin story. But, that being said, the movie needed to remove that first 40 minutes. Maybe even just make it a short film. That could have been actually pretty good. Now, I'm not saying that I was unhappy with the movie. In fact, I was very happy with the movie. But I think just becoming a short film would have been just as good. So, yeah, I'm I'm gonna go ahead and say yes, go watch The Killing Joke. Just like I said yes, watch Ghostbusters. In fact, for the most part, if I review a movie, I will say yes to watch it. Whether or not I like the movie, I will say yes, watch this movie, because guess what? My opinion doesn't matter to you. At least it shouldn't. Now, I know there are some people who are critics of everything, and to those people, I say still yes. Even if my opinion was all that mattered, which it really shouldn't be, my opinion of The Killing Joke is a high one. Ghostbusters, I'd say, probably the greatest song. Understand that it's not exactly what you expect. So, those are the movies that, other than Zootopia, which is old and probably been reviewed to death by now, that I've seen recently. So, I won't be seeing Suicide Squad for a week. When I see it, I will probably try and post a review. So, be looking out. That's actually all I really had to talk about as far as much detail here. I will say that I will eventually return to Stardew Valley as soon as I discover what I want to be the end game. Because that's the thing about Stardew Valley is it's not really got a set end point. What am I training? I am nostalgic. I'm also bald. Alright. I can handle bald. So, yeah. I wanted to, I did want to ask, not that I have enough viewers to really ask this, but is there a game that you want to see from me? Like, if I'm not gonna say No Man's Sky. I will be doing that eventually, but if I don't have it and it costs money, it will have to wait. But is there a game you guys want to see from me? I will find a way to record it if I have to find a different way, but I should be able to do that pretty easily. I'm gonna go another couple runs. I'm gonna maybe make this an hour-long video. Cause, I mean, really, all the games that I'm playing right now are either Borderlands, which I lost my player too, so while I will be getting back to it eventually, I don't really feel like I'm in the mood for Borderlands, especially since I'm playing it on the Xbox One with a much higher level character. And then a lot of games that don't have a set ending. Like this one technically has an ending, but it's not really the only ending. And yeah, I want a game that has a proper ending, but I can't really record the one that I wanted to do very well. It's choppy. So, guys, send me ideas. Fallout, the only reason I stopped is because it actually kind of just doesn't work well with my setup. So, sorry about that, guys. Fallout 4, I was kind of left on a review video. And actually, now that I've figured out how to do it, it's actually less interesting. It's actually less fun anyway. It's less fun, the idea of watching it. That run was terrible. I don't like the miner all that much. So, yeah, this video is going to be kind of long, but I kind of wanted to talk about 2 movies, so... I'm gonna try the miner again because I really want to make money. Because I really want new things. Like, I want the shinobi. That way I can then get the Hokage. And I can just have more classes. The knave would be pretty cool to upgrade it into the assassin. The miner to the spelunker, I don't know what that would really do. A headlamp, don't know what that's for. Oh, that'd be nice. That's 1,230 gold, so that's gonna take a while. I'm gonna try and build up a run that can beat the boss. Not this run, obviously, but try and build up a character that can beat the boss easily. Because I'm terrible at this first boss. I haven't even tried the other bosses because I haven't even beaten this first boss. I think it'd be hilarious if I did wind up beating the first boss with this character. Oh, at least I got the cool, like one of the cool spells. I do like the extra 3% gold the miner gives. That's really useful. A little chopper. Kind of bugs me. A lot of enemies I can't access, that bugs me. I just realized that Show 2 Cute is on, and it sounded like a cat meowing because that's what's happening. Journal entry number 3. I have paid my dues and entered the castle proper. That devil Charon has taken all that I own as payment. He has even pilfered my private coffers. I have left my wife and children with nothing. He says it's the price for any and all who hazard the depths of the castle. He says it is fair. It is fair because of all who have entered, none have returned. But I will change that. I will be victorious. There is no greater swordsman than I, even amongst my siblings. By the way, we will be fighting him at the end. Oh, I love my name as Sir Hero. That's nice. How much should I win? Probably not enough to do jack shit. Let's see here. ADHD, ectomorph, no. I guess I'll go with the Gay Miner, because it's the least terrifying one to play with. 377, I can up my armor class, but that wouldn't really help me right now. I'll up my mana. And I've got the axe. Lovely. And it doesn't even send out fast. But it will be useful should I find Alexander. Not that I expect to. I actually expect to die pretty horrifically. This will also be the last run, by the way. So, how many entries have I found? Is it just in the third one? Yeah. That kind of sucks. Oh well. 530 gold. That's really nice. Yes, this is how I plan on dealing with these guys. These guys could easily kill me. Good run. Got 520 gold. Okay, well, go ahead and pick my next. Why not? I'll go with this. But for now, I'm just going to be picking my next upgrade, which is going to be another mana upgrade. Alright. Till next time, guys. See you later.